A few months ago, I had the opportunity of having a conversation with a very interesting young man, a YouTuber who's developing a niche YouTube channel in the area of his passion, which is all things Vedic knowledge and Vedic astrology. I also talked to him about why his YouTube channel is doing so well. What is he doing that other YouTubers can pick up from him to become as successful? And before I show the video, I just want to say, Bhabajeet, I apologize that this video has taken so long for me since we recorded it to put it out there. Apologies, but hopefully stay tuned. This will be a really good video. And today I'm going to start with this young man over here called Bhabajeet Kalita.
Yes.
And he's from India. He's actually he has been studying in Germany, and I understand he's now also looking to work there. But he has a very niche YouTube channel, which, I came across as a result of my interest in all things Vedic. And he has a channel called Exotic Astrology, which is all about Vedic or Indian astrology. It's not an easy subject in which to grow an audience, and I think he's doing really well. And the amazing thing about him, he's, I think, only 26 years old. Are you 26 or 27, Bhabajeet?
26.
26. And how many subscribers have you got now on YouTube?
I think yesterday it reached 18,000.
18,000. Wow. Do you know, wasn't it just a few weeks ago you crossed 15,000? Just 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
it was.
15,000?
Yes, it was almost around end of October, around that time.
Wow, amazing. October, it was 15,000, and today we are the 10th of December 2018, and now it's almost 18,000.
Yeah, just above 18.
Just above 18 even. Wow. Okay, amazing. Okay, when did you start that channel?
Actually, I started the channel on 5th March 2017.
Wow.
But I didn't upload any video. The first video I uploaded was on 28th March, after 3 weeks around. So but till July, I was just uploading videos with screen recording, which means I was not showing my face. And then in July, one of my good friends from Denmark, he came and he said that, why are you not showing your face?
And why were you not showing your face?
Because my camera was like, I was thinking that the camera is not good, the webcam. But then he told me, and some other people also told me, that you start with whatever you have. That's a very big thing. We may want to go somewhere, but we should start from whatever we have. So then I have this MacBook Pro 2013 model, 15 inch, which
That's what
has
I've got. Exactly what I've got. A MacBook Air,
yes,
though. Yeah.
yeah, 2014 model it is, sorry. 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro. So I started with that camera. And then I think around in October, I had purchased a 720p camera from, it was quite a good camera, Logitech camera. And then in January, I took this Logitech Brio 4K, but that records in 1080p. So yeah, that's how it has started.
Fabulous. So what made you actually start your own channel?
Well, I was always into different topics on spirituality and other stuff related to the Vedas, and my past has been very interesting, experimenting not only with different subjects within the
I thought
Vedic
you were going to
scripture.
say experiment with drugs and stuff. No.
No. I was supposed to say experimenting with different religions also.
Oh,
Not
okay.
not only within the Vedic context, but even other religions like Christianity. Then there's Islam and so many other religions. So because I was born in a Hindu family, so I was naturally born and brought up in that culture. But my parents and my grandfather, he was a very senior level bureaucrat. He was an IAS officer. That is different.
What does I stand for? Intelligence Services?
Indian.
Indian services.
Yeah, Indian administrative services.
Indian administrative
They
services.
control the entire bureaucracy of the country. And they're very powerful. Only the president of India has the authority to remove them. Even the prime minister cannot once they are there. It's a very powerful post.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was born and brought up, and my father was also a commissioner and secretary of the agriculture department when he retired in 2010. So, I was born up in this big, lofty family with surrounded by IAS officers, politicians, and they were like the cream of the society. Whenever there was to be any big party, any big gathering in my city in Guwahati, in Assam, India, everybody used to be there, and they will always invite us because we were in that cream. So then I used to see all these people, and I saw their lives quite closely. And when I used to see, then I made some interesting observations. I used to see that actually recently I had seen a quote. This matches very much with this. So I had seen a quote that nowadays, today, the modern culture is like vulture culture. Vulture culture means like this: the vulture can fly very high sometimes. It can go above the Mount Everest or the World Trade Center, which was there once. It can go very high, but its eyes are always on the dead corpse. Where is something which has died, so that I can go and feast on it? So I had seen with people of this stature, like the IAS officers, IPS, army, and the politicians, of course, and businessmen also, that they might be in very big posts and they might have this great lives which everybody dreams and desires to have even a bit of it. But many times I have seen that when you sit with them in the business, suppose in the dining table, of course, then you will find them talking regarding topics which we don't expect from them sometimes. Like, I remember once, it was in 2001, around, there was a minister who had come to our home with his entire family, and he was discussing with my father that how he dragged his opponents down, and it was like that. So I was like, okay. So basically, if I become like you someday, if I'm so powerful as you one day, then am I also going to discuss with somebody that how I dragged my opponents down, or maybe there is something else to life? And because we were very affluent, so I never had any scarcity of money or finances. And then my mother or my father, they never stopped me from enjoying anything. Of course, I never took alcohol, but any party, going to the restaurant, having food, enjoying, going here, going there with friends. So I was always having this thought that whatever I need, I have. But then as time proceeded from 2004, 2005, 2006, then in 2009 onwards, I became very serious with spirituality, because I used to think that this is not all what life is, money and enjoyment. Because I already had all these things. Like we had three cars. In India, we have this ambassador cars. The big cars, they're like big as elephants, and they had red light, and they will have siren, and wherever you go, it will be like they will cut through the road. They will not care who is ahead you. They will just smash them and they'll just go. So it was like you are born in that environment, but you still feel that what is going on in your surroundings is not what you want, and it's not so great that we spend 80 years of our life aspiring for that. Of course, it's a big thing, to have money and to have power and influence and affluence, but I felt that maybe there is something more to life. I always felt this, and I used to feel this from around 2001, 2002 onwards, from that time. But from 2002, 3, I started reading different religious books, and I used to read about Hinduism. Then I understood so many things.
So how old were you?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was 2000 will be how much? 8 years around. So around 8, 9. From that time, I started reading some books here, there, but I didn't find any conclusive answers. And I was very confused. There's so many religions. What is all this nonsense going on? Somebody is saying that if you don't worship our God, you will go to hell, or our religion
Or if you
is the
don't worship
best.
a specific kind of God, even
No,
then.
I was like in that mode of experimentation and exploration, that from around 2000 2001. And then I whenever I used to go to any temple, irrespective of the deity, it was a Shiva temple or a Ram or a Krishna temple, I always used to pray to them that please give me this, give me that. That's how the initial phase of spirituality is for most of the people, and it was for me also like that. That we go to God not because we are interested in Him, but we are interested in His resources. Like
It's a
He
good
has
way of
this.
putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have no interest in Shiva or Vishnu or Brahma or Krishna or Ram. We just we have some desires and we are like, can you fulfill them? If you can, then it's great. If you can't, then I'm
I'm happy
sorry.
to come here every day. Yeah.
Yeah. If no, then push off. So then I started reading, and then I somehow found that the gods who are there in Hinduism, they were not very competent enough to fulfill my desires, which happens with many people, of course. They say that God did not fulfill my desires, God is not there. So I also came in that mode. So my definition of success in spirituality was, if God is fulfilling my material desires, He's great. And if He's not, then He doesn't exist for me. And then I started venturing into some other religions like Islam. So there I used to meet other people from many of my Muslim friends and some neighbors also. So I used to talk and discuss with them sometimes. So then I started getting more.
Did that freak your parents out?
No, it was like a secret affair.
Oh, no, because you know how it is, right? With our parents, especially Indian parents, it's like they get freaked out with things like that, don't they? So experimentation is not allowed.
Yeah, that was not there because of two reasons. One was because that was to a large extent a very secret affair. And the second reason was because my family, they are not too much interested in all this religion and
No,
spirituality. And also, that doesn't mean that you go and tell them that, oh, I'm changing my religion into Islam. And then they'll be
no,
like,
that's
oh,
not the
it's
same
you
thing
can
at
do.
all.
That,
Yeah.
that That's not the way it is, of course. So then I started getting more faith into Islam, and then I read the scriptures, and then I met many people, and then I saw that the teachings are very much similar, with Hinduism also. And then I used to dream, I used to think that, okay, I will also, as in Hindi they say na, main bhi namaz padhunga. So but then gradually, when I used to pray to Allah, who is the greatest as per the Islamic text, that but I saw that still my desires don't get fulfilled. And then finally one day, I think it was around 2002 or 3, there was a church in Guwahati. It's a very big church. So there I saw there was a statement written in big block letters, Jesus loves you. Then I was like, yes, I think.
I think I need to give Jesus a go.
Yeah, I mean, why not Jesus? I
Yeah.
mean, everybody is there on the list. Why not Jesus? And he has so much fan following. Christianity is such a big religion, of course. I mean, taking the number of the followers. So then I went to the church, and I met the father, then so many other people like that. Then I started talking, reading. But eventually, all my hopes were baffled, because whenever I used to pray to Jesus or what Christianity, they say God. Then also many of my desires would not be fulfilled. So then I used to think, what the hell is going on? Then I used to think that maybe there's no God. God doesn't exist. It's just a lie. Because in beginning days, that's the conception of God, that he's just a man who says yes to whatever you ask him or no. So then I realized that
It's a
this is
binary
not.
God, right?
Yeah,
It's a
it's
binary
not
God,
a,
yes or no.
yeah, it's like, yes, maybe yes, to what extent, that can depend, of course. So then I understood that this is not the way how it is going to be, because I cannot always keep playing this game. Okay, he fulfilled this, so he's there. He has not fulfilled, so he's not there. I can't play this game very long. So then I started reading many scriptures and going into detail very much. And then I understood that the law of karma, which is there in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, it says that whatever is in your destiny, that will happen. Either you want it or you don't. So then I used to think that that means if there is something good which is supposed to come to me, that will come anyways. Like the bad things which come, which we don't want, but that comes. So that means the good things will also come to me one day, depending on the karma, when it has to come automatically. And then when I read the scriptures more, I understood there was a story which I read, which is there in the Mahabharata. It's very, very interesting here. There was once the Kurukshetra war. I think most of the people know about Mahabharata.
Kurukshetra is the battlefield of in the Bhagavad Gita. So Kurukshetra is the name of the actual battlefield. And it's a very amazing place because also a lot of things used to happen there. So it was a very sacred holy ground where many sacred ceremonies took place. And in fact, high beings from other worlds would actually come and, offer sort of fire as a sacrifice or do fire sacrifice, or what we call yagnas and so on. So it's actually a very sacred and quite a consecrated place, right?
Yeah, so that time there was a very famous war, which is known as the War of Kurukshetra, which is there in the Mahabharata book, of which the Bhagavad Gita is a part of. So in that there is an instance when Lord Krishna is sleeping in Dwarka in his bed, and Arjun, who is from the side of the Pandavas, and Duryodhana, who is from the side of the Kauravas. So both of them goes to Lord Krishna to ask help. And because he is a relative of both Arjun and Duryodhan, so he cannot just say that, okay, I will only fight on one side. He has to fight on both sides, but how can one person fight on two sides? So then he said to Duryodhan and Arjun that, okay, I will help both of you. So what will I do is, I will split my power into two, which means I will myself stay on one side, and my army, which is known as the Narayani Sena, which was as big as one Akshohini. Akshohini is one of the army divisions. It's a quantifying measure. So my entire army of the Yadus is known as Narayani Sena, and that is one Akshohini size, and that will be on one side. So now you both have the free will and the choice to select which do you want. Now, if you select me, I will be there on your side, but I will not pick a weapon. I will not fight. And I take I give you a promise. I take a vow. And if you want the army, then the army is always there. So now there was a case that who will select first? Will it be Arjun or will it be Duryodhan? So then Krishna said that in scriptures it is said that whenever there is a chance to ask something, the one who is younger, the Anuj, he has the right. So because Arjun is younger to Duryodhan by age, so Arjun should have the right. So, and of course, Arjun also came and Krishna saw Arjun first. So Krishna said to Arjun, you ask what you want. And that was like the defining moment of the entire scene, because it was understood that wherever Krishna goes, or I mean Krishna's power, that side will be victorious. And then now somebody may think that, oh my God, it's such a big dilemma. Now Krishna is there on one side and his entire freaking big army is there on one side. And it is said that every foot soldier of the Narayani Sena, the army of Lord Krishna, they used to be as powerful as one Maharathi. Maharathi means, I mean, there's a lot of definitions for this word, but a Maharathi is one who is extraordinarily powerful. He's not an ordinary warrior. So some texts say that a Maharathi is one who can simultaneously fight with 60,000 warriors. That is a Maharathi. Some say one who can fight with 10,000. So there are different definitions for this word.
But he's a bit of a superhero, in other words.
Yeah, exactly. So one foot soldier was like one Maharathi in that army. And that was the best army in the entire world that time. So somebody may think that, oh, it was a big dilemma for Arjuna and Duryodhan whom to choose. But Arjuna was very clear. Arjuna had no dilemma. He said that it doesn't matter who is there on that side. Because you are Narayan yourself. So wherever you are there, there will be victory. So Arjun says, I don't have any doubts. I choose you. And Duryodhan, he was such a big fool. He always used to calculate materialistically, like a business corporate would do. Okay, we have these employees, we have this many hours, we will have this much profit. So he used to think that, okay, one Akshohini is big. I have this many Akshohinis, 10 Akshohinis, now one will come, so it will become 11. And the Pandavas, the poor fellows, they have only 7 Akshohinis. So where is 11 and where is 7? In fact, in the first chapter of the Gita, in the beginning, he says, he extrapolates the size of his army. Duryodhana says to his generals that, oh, our army size is twice as big as that of the Pandavas, although 7 to is 14, it's not 11. But he likes to always downgrade the opponents, and he always likes to show that he's in a great position. And then Duryodhana, he says, oh, Arjuna has chosen you, what to do? No, now I don't have any option, I will take your army. And he was very happy. And he was, because he did not know who Krishna was. I mean, he always knew that Krishna is God, but he never believed it. So there goes the first thing, that sometimes I used to ask this question to myself, that, oh, if God is actually there, then why can't we see him? Many people ask this question. So there in the book which I read, it was written that Duryodhan was there and Arjun was there, and Krishna was the same God who was standing in front of them. But because Duryodhana did not have that belief, that faith, that yes, he is God, that is why even when Krishna was personally standing in front of him, he could not recognize him. He used to think about Krishna, that Krishna is a great person, he's a big man, and he's a very powerful, strong man. But God, definitely not. He's a bit short of God, I think. He used to think like that. So that story gave me a very big lesson, and many stories. That story told me that we can run to God to get him or his resources. So all the scriptures, if you see externally, like you take the example of astrology, because we are going to discuss something on astrology. So in India and in many other places, you will see that there are gemstones which people wear, there are remedies which people do. Sometimes the remedies are very funny. They will say to you that you have to go to Banaras, you have to face the eastern direction in this many degrees, and you have to throw some milk in the water, then your karma is going to change. These kind of remedies are there, a bit funny sometimes. But what all these remedies show us, that we are not interested in going close to God himself, but we are interested in his resources. We want $1 million, we want a good husband or a good wife, we want all the luxury. So that puts us in the situation of Duryodhana. Duryodhana, he was a very calculative person, but he did not want Krishna, he wanted his resources. And at the end, what happened? He lost the war. In spite of all of his calculations, he lost the war. So now this does not mean that we say that, oh, we don't need anything, we'll go to the forest, we'll renounce ourselves, now we will become a sannyasi. It does not mean that. It means that we may ask God his resources, but we should also behave in ways that we get a desire to go close to God as a person. So then there was another story regarding this only, so which I heard, that there was once a king who announced in his kingdom that tomorrow morning whoever comes and asks me what, I will give them, I will never say no. And the news spread in the entire kingdom, and all his subjects, they came, and there was a big long line in the morning. So everybody had asked everybody. Some said, I need 1,000 gold coins, I need a big house. So the king fulfilled all desires. And at the end, there was one sage, a Brahmin, who was sitting there, and he was thinking. And then the king thought that, oh, this Brahmin is at the end. And then he asked, so my dear sir, what do you want today? And then the Brahmin he gave a very peculiar answer. He did not ask anything from the king. He said to the king that, I don't want anything from you. And then the king said,
excuse me,
then why are you here? He said, I want your friendship, I want you, I don't want your resources. And then the king was amazed. The king was like, wow, nobody ever said that to me. that you want me or my friendship? Everybody is like running after my resources. So then the king was very happy. He said, okay, from today I declare that you are my friend. Wherever you go, everybody, when they see you, they will tell, yes, he's the friend of the king. He's a great man. So then this Brahmin, what he said is, okay, then if you say you are my friend, then tomorrow night dinner is at my place. You must come. And then the king was like, yes, 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 I promise you, tomorrow night dinner at my friend's place. So he announced it. And this sage, he did not have any home actually. He did not have a house. His house was like, he was staying in a hut and there was nothing there. It was literally like a barren land. So then the minister, the prime minister, that head, he came to know that, my God, the king is going to go tomorrow. So the kings and queens have this, they send somebody in advance party to check how is the location. So then the minister went and saw that, my God, there's nothing here. There's no place to sit, there's no place to cook, nothing is there. So the king will come and have dinner here. What will you feed him? It's impossible. The king can't be here. And then he said, but the king already said he's coming. And then the minister said, no, if he's coming, we will change this place. And then they decorated that hut as if now it is like a palace. And they brought food, they brought plate, then table, chair to sit. So that hut became like a palace. So the lesson is that when we go to God for his love, for him, for getting him basically, rather than getting his resources, then we will automatically get the resources, even if we may not need them or we may need it. So these stories which I had learned once upon a time, they were very instrumental. And then from 2008 and 9 onwards, I started reading the scriptures in very much detail. And then in 2010, I moved to Chennai, which is in South India, for my bachelor's to SRM University. And there, South India is a very holy place, and Kanchipuram is a very beautiful place, which is in SRM University is very near to Kanchipuram.
And I know Kanchipuram very well because they make amazing silk there. Very special type of silk is made in Kanchipuram.
Everybody says that, I know. So there we had gone, and there's this famous Varadaraj temple, which is the temple of Lord Vishnu. And by the way, I will make an announcement here. I think this year in July and August, there's a big festival coming up for Varadaraj temple. So that's a Vishnu temple. It's one of the Divya Deshams, which means that it is self-manifested. The deity was not carved by anybody. It has appeared itself. So what happens is the original deity is inside the pond of the temple. And that comes out once in 40 years. So from 2010 onwards, I was hearing that it will come out in 2018. So in July and August, there's this festival. So if anybody is interested, then they can contact the temple's management, and I will also be going there to attend the festival, because the next time it comes out, I will be 67 years old that time. I don't know if I live till then. So this is the time I will attend. So yeah, so that was the place which I had gone exact 8 years back. It was somewhere around November, December. And after going to South India, I met many people there from different sampradayas, from different parts of the Vedic scriptures. And then there I started reading scriptures like the Gita, which is quite advanced, and then Srimad Bhagvatam also. So Srimad Bhagvatam Gita tells you who God is. And then Srimad Bhagavatam tells you how to obtain him. And Srimad Bhagavatam starts with this verse, I mean, in the beginning it is there, Dharma Projito Kaitavatro Palmo Nirmatsaranam Satam. That verse is there. It says that Srimad Bhagavatam kicks out all other varieties of religion. All other varieties of religion means it doesn't say that, oh, Vedas or Hindus are superior to Muslims or Christians, like that. It says anything which gives you less of God is not good. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says, which means Bhagavatam says that do not run to God for his resources. You run to God so that you can obtain him as a person, rather than running to his for his resources. So anything which gives you less of that, Nirmatsaranam Satam. It's like and this Bhagavatam is meant for Nirmatsaranam, who are totally free from envy, who are totally free from hatred. So these scriptures I started learning, and Then 2010 to 2014, I had many association of people, of spiritually minded people in my college also. And I think in December 2010, I decided that I will not be eating meat anymore, because that's the scriptures say that if you have not taken life, given life to somebody, you don't have the right to take life. Yes. So I decided that enough of it. I was 18 years old that time. And yes, after that, I came to Germany in 2015, April. And then I used to have spiritual discussions with my friends and with my other people, even from different countries. There was a Polish girl with whom I had a lot of discussions once upon a time in 2016. But then it was not flowing anywhere. It was like that. Okay, today you meet somebody, you discuss. Tomorrow you meet somebody, you discuss again. There was no structure. There was no flow. There was nothing. There was no stability there. Sometimes I will talk. Sometimes I will not talk. So then finally, in January or February, I think I decided that I will open a channel in YouTube. And many people had also told me earlier that why don't you open? So then I had many topics in my mind. Maybe I will open with this topic or that topic. But then I thought that people are very much attracted towards astrology. So I have the knowledge of the scriptures, and I can mix it with astrological stuff, and I can, or you would say the other way around, you mix the scriptural knowledge with astrological stuff, and then you can present. So that's what I'm doing now. So now almost every Monday, Tuesday, I upload a video on the Gita, and then 2 days it is on astrology or some other topic like tarot or any other person who I invite to my channel. And then on Thursday I put a video on Srimad Bhagvatam, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is again astrology. So yeah, that's how it has started. And I think July 31st, the channel had reached 10,000 subscribers. And then in October, it reached around 15,000, I guess. And now it's around 18,000. So that's how it has been growing. And yes, I also do consultations, and I had opened my website November last year, I guess, because it was becoming very difficult for me to manage. Everybody time people will ask me, do you do, how much you charge, blah blah blah. So then I used to send them the link of the website. Whatever you are interested in, you can go and you can book a reading with me. So yeah, that's how the journey has been so far.
Wow. So it started really organically, like you didn't have something in mind, but you had a lot of things that you could offer, and so it was like a platform for you to have a place where you can share that. That's really nice. So it's pretty much how my YouTube channel really has started as well. I'd never meant to do YouTube programs all the time, as in but now I feel I started in 2011 because I was doing some interviews on TV for a TV station, and there was a lot of, there were some interesting things that were coming out. So I took the videos. I just used my YouTube channel as a placeholder for those videos. But yeah, since then, and now I'm in a place where I have so many things like yourself that I'd love to do and share. It's just a question of time and structure, and getting in front of the camera long enough to be able to do it. So that's the other challenge, isn't it? But I know that you've been studying a master's in Germany. What's a master's in computing? Is
Oh
that?
yeah, I forgot to say about that. I came to Germany in April 2015, and I got admitted into the George August University of Göttingen. In fact, I got the admit exact 4 years back, I think 9 December, and today is 10 December 2014.
Oh,
So it was for applied computer science, and Göttingen was a very, very, very reputed university that time. Now also it is. That time the ranking was also very good, and this course interested me very much because I did not do my bachelor's in computer science. It was in software engineering, which is a mixture of MBA stuff, the business stuff, and computer science. So this program had another 30 credits, which is 1/4 of the entire syllabus on business intelligence, business domain, business, that's not business administration, the other side of business, computer science related stuff. So yeah, I was very interested in this, and I also got admitted into another university, Technical University of Darmstadt, but that program did not appeal me. Of course, that's a very interesting program, but those subjects did not appeal me because I was not interested in them. But this program I was very interested, so I joined. And yeah, July this year I had, on 26th July I finally got my certificate. It took almost 3.5 years, although the program is for 2 years, because on 2017, it's very interesting, when I opened the channel, in March, but I was doing my thesis, and then suddenly my supervisor, he tells me that, oh, my wife is pregnant. I'm leaving the university. So I was into domains like artificial intelligence and machine learning. But then what was happening is, in that domain, because it was a new domain in our university, he was the only one who used to head that department, and there was no professor for that domain. So then the director of the institute, Professor Yapur, he told me, now we have two options. Either you do the rest yourself without any supervisor, or you change your thesis. So changing the thesis did not mean just taking another topic. It meant you change your domain altogether entirely, and you read a new domain, you understand, and then you start. So then it needed almost 6 months to change my domain into natural language processing, which is also in a way a part of machine learning. And then finally, again, October, November, December, I started, and in July, finally, it got over this year.
So that's yeah. So exactly like that. So there's all kinds of things that happen. Life happens. Time is a really big issue. So how do you manage to put out so many? How many videos have you actually done by now?
I've done every day one video, so it's around 600 videos.
Wow, that's a lot of videos. But tell me about that. So how do you do it? What's your structure for your day? How do you choose your topics?
Yeah, so regarding the topics, how do I choose them? As I said, Monday I have said that it's generally on the Gita, but yesterday I did not post because there was some other topic which I wanted. So Monday and Thursday is generally like that is fixed, that it will be on these two topics. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday is on some core astrological content, something very specific to astrology. But Tuesday, Wednesday, these days I put some videos sometimes which people ask. Like recently I had put a video last week, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, then how to raise your vibration. So in that I try to show how we can practically apply spiritual techniques, rules throughout our life, not just say that, okay, either you be on the material side or you go to the forest. These are like two binary zones. So
Sure.
Whenever I talk about spiritual stuff to my family or to my relatives, they say that, oh, but you are in the material world, how can you discuss spiritual stuff here?